What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, our second vlog featuring my new 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. And today we're going to do our first minor repair on it. It has to do with the turn signals. So I don't know if I mentioned that in the first video. I don't think I did. But the lady I bought this from told me that the turn signals didn't work all the time. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. Just wanted to show you guys a few things that I have also kind of, had to do or discovered about the car since it's been home. This is day number, well, today's Wednesday. I brought it home on Sunday, so today's Wednesday, like what, day 3 technically, the full day. And one thing that I was looking at is the dent. So, we mentioned this in the first video. Obviously, when you open the door, it doesn't want to open all the way because it crunches up against the metal here. What I might try to do is, I have almost like a pry bar in the house. I might try to carefully wedge it through to see if we can pull this out. However, one thing I also noticed is, because this trim is coming off, if we look a little further down, oh, here we go, yeah, the actual sheet metal is ripped. And I think that is from this door being pried open so many times. It actually tore the sheet metal. So the piece here is, as you can see, kind of moves. It doesn't help that the rockers underneath here are probably rusted out. You can't really see it because of the plastic. So that's another thing that I'm guessing. But I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to see if there's a way we can pry this out. You can see the paint marks from the door, hitting it. It's kind of creased in a little here. That might be, I think that might be like that. That's on the actual molding, the plastic. I'm gonna try it anyway, and then maybe we'll try to glue this back on, and I guess we'll just go from there. If I can't get it back out, oh well. I mean, I could deal with it. The door opens far enough to where you can get in and out of it. It's just kind of a, I want it to look a little nicer than that. And I had to tape my sunroof. I know I'm gonna regret putting this tape on the hood. There's gonna be marks all over it. Yeah, see, you can already see it's leaving marks, so that's gonna have to get cleaned up really good once this is off. But the rain, unfortunately, does come down in this direction, and I had to do something about it. So even though the shade is underneath, it was collecting water from, we had some heavy rain over the last few days, and this is what I had to do to keep the rain from coming in. I am off work tomorrow, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to go to the junkyard tomorrow and maybe actually find a new assembly for the sunroof. So I guess they have them, if I could find one, they're like $30 some, which isn't bad. I don't think we need the motor, because I was messing with the glass itself. Well, actually, I took the glass off, first off. And then, I was trying to see if I could get the tracking to get lined back up, but I can't. The motor does work. It actually moves pretty freely. So that aspect of it's good. We just need the actual assembly. So that's what we're going to do. I also taped it up because I didn't want any bugs getting in it. Every now and then I still see a few of my wasp enemies, and I'm just trying to keep them out of the car also. So we know that. Other than that, nothing else has really been done. I did put the front bumper cover on, and I don't know, I guess that's really it. Nothing else has really changed. It's just sitting here. So let's get into it. You know, I never even looked in here to see if it's rusting or anything. No, it looks good. This is surprising because these rust out really bad over here, and this one so far is very clean, and that's awesome. So I'm sure in time it will develop, but as of right now I don't care. It's fine. So let's get in. It's warm in here today. A couple of other things I did look at inside here, and I actually looked at all this while I wasn't filming the day that I got the car. So, you know, I kind of, after the camera was off from Sunday, I came out here to kind of just look over a few other things, try to learn more about this car, what else it may need and whatnot. And I'm going to show you guys, before we get into our turn signal issue, I'm going to show you guys what else I discovered. So I didn't really notice it until later on that evening, but there's a button here, and even when the battery or the car is running and you push this button, it doesn't do anything. So I'm kind of wondering what was this for? You know, where does it go? So I pulled this off. I'm going to try to pull it off again here real quick just to show you. I'm going to need a screwdriver for our flashlight diagnosis, so I don't know why I'm using this key, but it is what it is. I'm trying to pull it up here. Here we go. Oh, twisted it a little bit. There's another slot up ahead. I think you got to slide it upward. There we go. So yeah, it is wired. You can see these two wires here, and I was like, okay, so it's been cut. They've been cut. So there's a useless button here, and no idea what that button was ever used for. Never gonna find out. So then I was like, okay, so that's a useless button, obviously some sort of aftermarket thing. If I push the button out, and you can, it's starting to come out. So I could take this button out, but now I'm gonna have a hole there. So I'm thinking when I go to the junkyard tomorrow, we're gonna find another one of these covers, and then that way this, you know, I'm just gonna take this out now. There's no point in having it in there. Might as well get rid of it. Just a button. So now we have a hole here. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up going to the junkyard and finding another one of these plastic pieces here. Then that way it'll look, you know, back to original. The gas pedal. I didn't notice it at first, but this gas pedal is definitely not a normal gas pedal. So I might try to find a other gas pedal. And then also we have some wiring here. So not exactly sure what kind of aftermarket accessories were in this car at one time, but I'll probably take a look into that at some point in the future to see if it's anything that we don't need. It could be maybe at one point it had an aftermarket remote start on it. So I don't know, but you know, I got, you know, things. There's another wire hanging out here. Who knows what this is going to. So there's just a couple of other little things that we're going to look at in time, and just try to figure out, you know, what is for what. The original stereo is still here, so I don't know if there was maybe one time an aftermarket stereo in this car, whoever had it a long time ago, and maybe before it was sold off, they put the original one back in. I don't know. Also, the cruise control. If you see, it didn't look like any of these buttons were working. Yeah. Well, it turns out the actual switch is gone from the backside of the steering wheel. So those are literally just the buttons hanging out there. And then here's the here's the plug for the cruise. So we're definitely gonna have to fix that, which means this airbag is gonna have to come out because the switch fastens inside the steering wheel behind the airbag. So that'll be something for us to do another day also. But like I said, we're here because we're gonna do the turn signal stuff. I just wanted to show you guys, you know, just real quick stuff that I have learned about this car, you know, since it was documented for the first time. And so far, that's what I found out. So getting on topic to the turn signal situation, the lady I bought it from did mention to me that the turn signals don't always work properly. And the night that I bought it and had it home, after, you know, toward the later half of the day, you know, I came out here, tinkered with obviously the stuff that you've seen, you know, did some more looking around the car and whatnot. And yeah, so I had the ignition on and tried the turn signals, and yeah, they weren't working. Neither one, left or right. And I tried it several times, didn't get anything. So basically I called it a day, and yesterday I came back out here, you know, because I was prepared with, you know, a wiring schematic, you know, thought I was gonna have to dig into the actual wiring and whatnot, try to trace down what the issues can be. I'm thinking maybe it's the turn signal stock itself. The turn signal stock could be worn because these are known to wear out in the GM community. In fact, my Grand Prix, when I had it, I had to replace the turn signal stock because it was starting to act up. So yeah, I'm thinking it's this actual stock that's going to be a problem. So I came back out here with my wiring diagram in hand, and you know, I had the ignition turned over to the on position, and I'm trying the signals, and they're working. They're working perfectly fine, left and right. Alright, so I'm sitting here for a few times, flicking this thing back and forth, and then yeah, eventually they stop working. And then I can't get them to work again. So then I decide to get my my phone out, because I didn't have the camera with me, and I actually recorded this with my phone. So I'm going to show you guys what I recorded here, that way I don't have to try to get it to do it again, you know, because I don't have all that much time to be out here doing it today. So in the video you're watching, we're flicking the turn signal, and we don't have anything coming to the cluster as far as, you know, our lights and whatnot. I got nothing. But then I push the hazard button, and as you can see, the hazard switch works perfectly fine. Both of the signals are operating as they should. I try the switch again, and as you can see, we're not getting anything at all. But then I had the idea to hit the hazard switch, have the hazards running, and then I turned the turn signal on while the hazards are running. Once I turned off the hazard switch, the turn signals were working perfectly fine. And this occurred quite a few times. So on this diagram that you can see here, this here, this box right here, this is our turn signal switch. That right there. You can see the different positions. And the turn signal switch for the signals actually gets its power from the hazard switch. And this is all of our hazard switch wiring right here. So the hazard switch is responsible for enabling the turn signals. As a matter of fact, when you have the hazard switch on, the clicking is coming directly from the button. You can actually feel it too. So the hazard switch, I do believe, is the problem, especially being with once the hazards were on, and I would, you know, flick the switch and then turn the hazards off, the lights, turn signals would work fine. Then I found out that there's actually a recall that these Grand Ams, Malibus, Aleros, anything that had basically this hazard switch set up on the dashboard, I guess they were there was a recall for them being faulty, and I didn't know that. I do know that when I had my Alero many years ago, the clicker for no reason would just go tick, 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 tick. It would just click really fast, no lights, you know, no turn signals, and then it would just stop and then randomly click again for no reason. But then eventually one day it just stopped and everything went back to normal. So I don't know. So we're gonna replace this first to see if that's gonna fix the issue, and I'm pretty sure that that is going to be the issue, based on how it was acting once I was hitting the button, flicking this lever over, and whatnot. Now the cool thing is, and I didn't know this until yesterday, but the lady I bought this car from did tell me, you know, there's a box here, and she told me that we have a new fog lamp assembly for the front bumper. And yes, we do. We have a brand new fog light that we get to put in at some point. There's no fog lamp at all on this driver's side of the bumper. But underneath this fog light was this. An authentic AC Delco part. There's your part number. And look, it's our brand new hazard switch. So somebody before me was, I think, on the right path to diagnosing this issue. So yeah, we have a brand new switch here, button and all, and we're going to change it out to see if it's going to resolve the issue. I'm going to go ahead and put the ignition on now. I'm just going to try it real quick. I'm not going to fight with it, like I said, to get it to mess up, because I don't have all that much time to do it. Yeah, so now it's working okay. Because then, you know, if I can get it to act up now, then we have something to go off of. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to fight with it. But either way, you know, so right now, oh, there we go. We got nothing. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Nope. Right. It's very interesting. So we'll do the hazard trick again. Turn the hazards on. Flick the switch. Turn the hazards off. Right. Left. Yep. Very interesting. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and switch it out, especially since this one's here. We'll keep a hold of this one. I don't know, because that's usually what I do for some reason. So let's go ahead and get a flathead screwdriver. I think that's all we need. And we need I think a small socket for the screws that are actually inside this plastic cover to remove the switch. Start there. Should just be able to get a flathead up behind there. Oh, maybe it's a little bit easier on like the Malibus to do this. There we go. Oh, nope, I lied. Nope. Is it attached from the top or? There we go. Didn't mean for it to come off like that. Okay, she's good. So put that off to the side. Now you can do your pry. You might be able to actually grab it from here. Yep. That makes it a little bit easier. There we go. So just like the Malibu, then what you got to do is try to get your key in here. There. Get your ignition on. Put your shifter down. And that way you can actually move this out. So as you can see, we have two harness here. One harness is for the traction control system. That would be this one here. And this other one is for our flasher. And then also you have your cigarette lighter, so be careful you don't yank that one either, because this traction wire is actually really short, so be especially careful when you're pulling on this also. So I might need two hands to do this. Let me see if I can wiggle that out. There we go. So traction is disconnected, and this one comes out. We might actually need to push down something on that one. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that might be a two-hander there. Alright, so yeah, you've got to take the screwdriver, push down on this end here, on the inside, and then just pull it out. I don't know why they have the wires weird like that, but it is what it is. From here, I don't think I have to disconnect the cigarette lighter. No, we can get to it from back here. So if you remove these three screws here, there's one, two, and a third one on the far left there. That'll remove both traction and hazard switch or flasher. You can put that in park now and take your key out, because it's free enough now. So that's what we're going to do. So let me go get some sockets, and then we will work with that little switch there once we get those out. They're 7mm. Shouldn't take much to get these things loose. Okay, so once that's done, here we go. So there's your traction switch and your hazard switch. This whole thing here is what we have to change. So how we get that out of there is, looks like these two tabs here need to be squeezed in. There's a tab there and a tab there, and I think we just push it through. Again, I probably can't do this with one hand. Set the camera down there. Oh, actually this is broken. Somebody may have been here already before. It's actually cracked. Once it's bolted on and in place, I don't think that's really gonna hurt anything. Doesn't seem like it, but in our case, it should make it easier for us to get this wiggled through. Yeah, kind of did, but then we just push it out. Yeah, so somebody may have replaced this once before. Who knows? Like I said, we'll hold on to it anyway. And then we'll get our new one hooked up. Now I am double checking to see if this was open, just to make sure, and this thing is still perfectly sealed. It has not been opened yet. So this is brand new. So what we can do first, just to verify that it works, is we'll just plug it into our wiring harness here. And we'll turn our hazards and whatnot on to see if everything works the way that they should. So it's plugged in. It works. You can hear the click coming from inside. Okay, now we'll take our key. I think it's going to be okay. I won't really know until I start driving the car, but like I said, judging from what I seen on the wiring diagram and just how it acts after I push this button, you know, I'm pretty sure that this was the culprit. And if this is in the car, somebody ahead of time may have already known what the issue was going to be and just never put it in. So that'll be that. So we'll go ahead and unplug this again. So to get it back into this case, which like I said, mine's actually broken, but you should be able to just push it through and then these tabs will lock it in place. So that's why I'm thinking somebody may have already been here before. And yeah, so like that, you should have both tabs on the back here lined up with this black edge, and that's it. It's actually pretty easy. Now we'll just take this and you shove it back into the bezel, much like so, and then you put those 3 screws in. Don't over tighten those screws because that's only going into plastic, so just snug them up a little bit. Then once your 3 screws are in, that's the end of that. So your switches, both your switches are in. They both move the way they should. That's it. It's a success. So what you would do then is put your key back in the ignition, turn it to the on position, get the gear shift out of park, and then wiggle this back on over top of everything. Make sure you plug in your traction, your electronic traction system, and the wiring for the hazard switch itself, and that'll be it. I'm going to leave this cover off because it should be no surprise to long-term subscribers, but the CD player doesn't work. The Pontiac stereo system curse continues. So while I have this cover off, I think I'm actually going to remove the stereo, and you know, I do have an idea. I also wanted to see if I could find buttons, because you know, the buttons are kind of chewed up, all the coatings off of them. So we'll find some newer buttons that look a little bit better. And then I also got to figure out how to replace the backlights to get this clock and display working again. So that's what I'm going to do right after this camera is shut off. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to pull the stereo, and yeah, it'll probably be documented. It might be the next vlog after this. Who knows, but I will have it documented, us tearing that stereo apart and what I have going on from there. But so, like I said, I really won't know if that's the final solution to the turn signal issue until this car is actually driven, and hopefully that'll be somewhat soon, before summer is over, maybe fall, into fall. Hopefully we'll have it getting, you know, running, because it doesn't really need a whole lot to drive, guys. I think it's just the head gasket, intaking head gasket job that we have to do, and that's it. Everything else, it needs tires, and but everything else was already kind of taken care of. This car was being driven shortly before I bought it, so it really hasn't been sitting, hasn't need to sat. Probably should have sat, but it didn't. So I know it'll move. We can drive it once that engine is in good health, and it's just all these little tiny things that we're going to be doing until I get to that point. So that's it for today. Like I said, we'll see how the turn signal thing works in time, but that should be it. That should be the solution to it. So I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Also check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. That's all I've got for today. I will see you guys next time. Thank you again so much for watching. Take care.